Hi everybody, and welcome to Yukikaze Gaming. This is my first time doing audio. Definitely apologies in advance if I kind of leave some dead air or anything like that. I'm not used to doing this. Um, just kind of giving this a shot, experimenting, learning all the tools and everything as I go. So welcome if you're joining for the first time, and feel free to come along with me on the ride as I figure out all the necessary software and everything for streaming and for capturing all the video content that I'm going to be uploading. Obviously, I've got some backlog of videos already uploaded for particularly King's Raid, as well as a few other titles, but this is, again, the first time that I'm doing audio capture. Live voice will be new and will allow me to hopefully add in, commentary on the fly as we go here. I thought it might be good to also give a little bit of background at the start of each new video series. I have quite a few years of experience playing Magic the Gathering. I've been playing since I was a small child. So although I'm not Pro Tour level, I have participated in a few Pro Tour qualifier events and things like that. I've also won quite a few local tournaments over time in things like Friday Night Magic, pre-releases, release events, things of that nature. But when I have the most fun, it's usually playing more kind of kitchen table Magic or doing kind of those sort of casual pre-release style or Friday Night Magic style events where you're doing, a limited constructed event and just kind of having fun with it without all the pressure that comes with being pro. But that's not to say I'm bad at the game. I'm sure I'll be making a few mistakes here and there, and I'll probably be calling a lot of those out as I go. Sometimes I might even recognize I'm going to be making a mistake and just go ahead and walk into it anyway, just because, hey, I'm here to have fun and it's what I feel like doing. But hopefully that will be part of the enjoyment of the experience for everybody. So we're kind of jumping in midstream here. This is a draft deck for the Neon Dynasty Kamigawa that just came out. It kind of caught me by surprise. I was expecting, while I was out and eating lunch at one point, to just pick up a draft I already had in progress. But I didn't realize that the new set was out, and that clobbered my old deck, and I ended up having to draft a new one, and here we are. It wasn't the best draft, gonna be honest. I got basically total garbage to start with, and found myself just kind of trying to force black initially. Then, as the draft progressed, I got kind of pushed into red in Pack 2, as black kind of started drying up, but it became apparent that really the color that was open was white. And so as Pack 2 progressed and Pack 3 started, I ended up shifting a lot of my draft to white because, man, they were... I honestly switched too late. They were passing all these rares. They passed Light Paws. They passed a couple that I didn't even pick up. But the only real black rare I was able to pick up, I think, was this Soul Transfer, which is pretty good. It's definitely some quality removal. I guess, no, that's actually still even an uncommon. So, really what I ended up with here is kind of a samurai-ish deck with some ninjutsu action going on. It's not a deck that has a very great clear win condition, but it does have a decent amount of removal, which is frequently enough to kind of win games on its own. The win conditions are probably kind of like this Dokuchi Shadow Walker. just ninjutsuing in big things for some heavy damage early. At one point, the draft kind of looked like I was going into one of these, like, modify decks. Probably would have helped a lot if I knew anything about the set going into this, but I hadn't even looked at what was going to be available in the set before starting the draft. Again, was out having lunch, was kind of on a tight timetable, and just was looking to get in a game or two, hopefully, before lunch ended. So I didn't really have time to go through and check everything, and, you know, you pay for that. But we're going to see if I can salvage this. Hopefully everybody's gotten a pretty good chance to get a look at the deck and what's in it as I'm going here. If not, I'm sure you can always rewind and take a look at things in a little more detail. This Ancestral Katana is also pretty important, but I didn't even pull that in Game 1, so that said, you know, basic kind of black-white removal beater weenie thing. I guess it's actually more of a mid-range, like a lower mid-range removal deck. It's certainly not control. I'll probably also, as I go, because I'm sort of focusing this on what I'm good at, which is teaching the basics to beginners. I'll probably point out things along the way whenever I think of them that pertain to just basic deck building strategies, basic combat strategies, things like that. But, you know, games being what they are, sometimes it's going to take more concentration than others, and it'll be a little bit stream of consciousness, because that's how these things go, I guess. Without talking too much more randomly here, let's go ahead and start up a game and see if I can salvage this run. As of right now, I'm at 0 wins, 1 loss, so starting out with a little bit of a handicap. Game 1 was quite close, though. I did get the opponent down to, I think, 1 HP. It was really, really tight there. But ultimately, they managed to pull out the win, and I just wasn't able to manage it. I think that one came down to one crucial play where I tried to bluff, and it didn't pay off. They blocked my creature, it died. I didn't actually have any combat tricks that I was acting like I had, but I, at that point, wasn't sure that I could really salvage the match either way, so it was time for just kind of a Hail Mary attempt. Alright, here we go. Probably I'll also talk a little bit about, you know, basic Magic concepts as we go to things just like the meta, what that means, things of that nature. Alright, so starting out here, I do have a couple things I can drop. A 1/1 that I can equip with a katana seems pretty okay. I can also ninjutsu in this guy pretty early on, off of my Moth Rider Patrol. That also seems pretty good. I've got both colors of mana, I've got at least 3 lands, so I think I'm going to go ahead and keep that. And it looks like the person I'm up against might also be a streamer of some kind, just kind of going off of their name here. Studweiser Games. Alright, Hotshot Mechanic. So actually, I still don't even know a lot of this. I'm kind of still going into this set mostly blind. So you guys get to kind of learn along with me here. I probably at some point will go through and take the time to actually read up on all the cards, but for the moment, it is what it is. Alright, so let's drop a land, and, very interesting. I think I'm actually going to wait on the katana, because I'm probably going to want to lethal exploit that hotshot mechanic. But I might as well get in my 1 flying damage. One thing that I haven't really gotten used to, because I'm used to playing tabletop Magic, and really I've only been doing Arena mostly just because of the pandemic, is that I haven't really gotten the hang of how to do the controls in terms of how to kind of bluff whether I have an instant in my hand or not, which if I were participating at the higher levels I'm sure would be extremely important. But as it stands, here we are. Okay, so this is interesting. The Blade Blizzard Kitsune actually has a ninjutsu cost that is higher than its base cost. Definitely a little bit weird. I can see why they would do that, though, because you can kind of use it as a combat trick. But even so, that's a little bit questionable. So anyway, I'll go ahead and get my attack damage in. Drop this for a hard cast, because I don't really have a reason not to. And I don't really have anything else to cast this turn that's worth the mana. Opponent over there is running white-green, and they've got this dragonfly suit out. I saw a couple of those in game 1. They are pretty annoying. Okay, so this is basically a pacifism effect, except it also prevents crewing. Alright. That's fine. It's not optimal, of course, but I'll take it. So here's the part where we go ahead and ninjutsu in our big guy for unexpectedly large damage. I don't think they're going to be able to drop anything to stop that. Yummy! Alright. Next turn, it looks like, worst case, I'll drop the patrol again, and then also a Nezumi Blade Blesser. And it buffs up as long as I control an effect. I don't actually have to have it equipped with it, which is pretty cool. So, alright, we did pull another land. I didn't actually need another land at the moment, but it doesn't hurt. Target saga card from your graveyard to your hand. Yeah, I don't like him, but I don't know that I can do much about him at the moment. Is he... He's not an enchantment, he's just a human druid. Okay. Crew 1. Okay. I think the play here is to just go ahead and attack. Just gonna let me do it straight to their face. That's fine. Go ahead and recast my patrol. And I'll get a Nezumi Blade Blesser out there. They're tapped out, so it's not like they can do much at the moment. Plus they're white-green, not really known for their counter spells. And there's a surrender. Okay, well, this time the deck pretty much worked the way that it was intended to. Not bad. you can see I really haven't played much yet this season. Just the one game that I lost previously. I don't usually get that high in the rankings on this, just because I don't play frequently enough. But I could probably climb a fair bit higher if I were actually active. Who knows, maybe now that I'm doing this for my YouTube channel here, I'll play a little bit more frequently. Alright, let's go ahead and try another game here. We've still got some time left. Wouldn't hurt to make this session a little bit longer. It'd probably be good if I had more of these one-drop flyers. Just to give me more options for ninjutsuing stuff in, because they're pretty effective for that. I'm gonna have to be really careful using this Twisted Embrace, because I just know I'm going to choose the targets in the wrong order at some point. It's gonna screw me. I've got a good mana mix here. I don't have any early drops. Turn 3 is a little late for my taste, but it'll do. Probably draw into something lower cost, because most of my deck is lower cost anyway. And if not, well, I'm only 1 mana off from being able to cast this guy, so... Alright, well there's another 3-drop for me. We've got opponent playing black. Sacrifice an artifact or creature, draw a card. That's... Okay. I'll Seer Swamp with my swamp. Hey, there's the one drop that I hope to have on turn 1. A little late to the party, but whatever. Okay, that's cute. It's DJ. Return creative construct creature token. Triggers only once each turn. Okay. Yeah, this isn't a great starting position for me here, but at least that only, yeah, it only gets power, not toughness. Alright, in order to kind of stabilize here, my only real option is to play the Blade Blizzard Kitsune. So I've got a blocker, and that'll probably be threatening enough that they just attack in unless they kill it, which is also reasonably likely, so there's that. They are running black-red. It would be weird if they didn't have some help that could take out a 2-toughness creature. Maybe not in their hand currently, but it would be odd if they didn't at least draw into it at some point. With Death Touch and Menace, that makes it a little bit of a problem for me at the moment. But I've got rid of him too, so that's okay. Yeah, I think I have to play this and hope I don't screw it up. So... okay. Artifact or creature you control. And then, when it comes into the battlefield, the effect activates. Yeah. And then destroy that. Okay. It's So actually I can safely attack at this point, and I'll do more damage than they're able to do. So I'm winning that race. They've got one mountain. I'm not too worried about combat tricks. If they can pump anything with one mountain, it's probably only power and not toughness. I ended up curving out relatively nicely considering my starting hand, which has definitely helped. My opponent looks like they might be a little bit land-flooded, which is kind of a bummer for them. That handle is a... Oh. Interesting. Tapped out. It's still a Death Touch Menace, but I think I'm fine still going on the offensive here. As it stands... Yeah, I was gonna say, unless they start blocking, I win next turn. So... this guy. At the very least, it can block the Song Shaper. It'll keep that off of me. The Blade Blesser, it's only 3 damage, and they'll leave themselves pretty vulnerable. Oof, that's a lot of land they're dropping. But hey, I'm pretty flooded in my hand too, so fair's fair. It's only an uncommon, but it's still a legendary. It's not bad at all. But I don't have a lot of opportunities to activate its effect in my deck. I was expecting to have more of those, but as I developed, I just didn't really end up with that many artifacts. Fortunately, the one that I do have, once it gets on the field, is very likely to stay there, but... Alright, so... I mean, they could double block Naomi, but I'm actually cool with that if they do. They're suspiciously open, though. I'm kind of expecting combat tricks. I have the opportunity that I could tap down their Blade Blesser. It does still have Death Touch. That might actually be the right play here. Which is a very handy ability on this creature. I mean, it's expensive to activate, but by the time you get around to activating it, it can really make a difference. And I don't know if they even remembered the creature had that. We'll see based off of what the play is. They either had no choice, or they didn't remember it could do that. Okay. So they had a trick. I think they were probably hoping to use that on the Blade Blesser. That did buy them a little bit of time. But I think that's game. Drop another swamp. There's nothing for me to tap right now. If both these come in unblocked, I win. I don't know what they're planning, but we'll attack with just these and see what happens. Actually, I could... You know what? I'll go ahead and go offensive here. Alright, doing pretty well considering that early loss. That had me a little worried that I drafted very poorly. And the fact that I'm going into this totally blind. Pretty happy with that. But obviously we want to still keep going. The goal really is to get at least into this 4 to 5 win range to make back the original investment. If I can do that, then, you know, I'm able to kind of perpetually draft, which is the way that I do things. Of course, every once in a while, there's just really bad luck. You know, either you get just a super, super trash draft where you don't get any removal, you don't get any bombs, and you're just kind of toast no matter what you do. Or worse yet, you have something like connection issues or a bug that I ran into previously that cost me 2 games because I couldn't activate the effect on my creature. Yeah, that sucked. Anyway, here we go. Keep going, get a couple more games in. Alright, got a good mix of land, that's a good start. I've got a combat trick here. I've got my 1-drop, I've got early removal, and I've got a 3-drop. That's pretty good hand. I'm pretty happy with that. Alright, opponent's in white. Should be an interesting matchup. Probably looking to use my removal for flyers, but we'll see what kind of stuff they threw out there. If they have a double strike creature, that might be worth getting rid of as well. Yeah, I don't have anything to play. They're in white-green, so I'm expecting kind of a mid-range aggro, stompy, beat-em-up. Return Shigeki Jukai Visionary to its owner's hand. Reveal the top 4 cards of your library. The land card into the battlefield tapped, the rest in your graveyard. Okay. I don't like it, but I can't kill it, so... At least can't kill it yet. Drop a swamp. Yeah, this is a relic of when I was originally drafting for a modified deck, but it could still be useful. Go ahead and swing in for my 1 damage. So, if he's running that, there's a good chance that he's actually running some very high-end creatures that he's trying to ramp into. That does worry me a little bit, so I'm gonna have to try and make sure that I appropriately aggro here. And I've got the combat tricks to back that, fortunately, but that's kind of all I've got, so... Alright, bit of mono balance. Cool. Could have a combat trick, but that's okay, because I have combat tricks too. Or he could just be waiting with the intent of bounce, or activating its effect already attacked, so he can at least threaten your blocker, which is fine. Right. Return to owner's hand with the ramps, which that's a pretty slow effect in that regard, but it's also a very powerful effect, so I can understand why. Six land, I mean, there's not a lot he could be playing that takes more than that. Alright, here we go. Top 5 cards of your library, reveal a creature or enchantment from among them, put it into your hand, put the rest on the bottom of your library. If you didn't put a card in your hand this way, you gain 4 life. That's really good for an uncommon, and it has reach. Wow. He got another one. Alright, that's annoying. Yeah, I kind of only have one course of action here. Well, 2. I mean, I could tap it down and swing in for damage, but that's not really sustainable for me. I have to kill at least one of these. And at the moment, that means I have to swing in with these 2. He can't block the Menace, and I'll have to double trick to kill this thing with the Blade Blesser. Okay, so... I can actually do it that way, which gets me more damage. That counts as modified, if I do that. That will give -3, -3. Figuring this out as I go, that might be an obvious trick to some people watching me, but, again, new set. I don't think they were expecting that. Probably just made them a little bit sad there. Now I just need to be able to swing in for 6 damage twice, unless they gain some life, which feels pretty doable. Okay, arrested. Which, actually, I think Arrest was the card that was just like that. That was 2 colorless, 1 white, so I see how they're playing off of that. Alright, tap down their creature for 3. I could really use something that's not land. That would be super awesome. I'd argue that I did start out a little bit flooded, which is true, but so, tap down. You're gonna respond to that? It's coming. Okay. Sure, that's pretty strong green removal. Just drop my double striker here. And one of the nice things about this is now they really kind of can't afford to attack me with their Error of Memory either. Oh, okay, well that happened. Doesn't have reach, it's only that other thing that's still in his hand that has it. So I guess I swing in for 1 damage in this scenario. I don't know of any green or white haste stuff in this set. Occasionally green has haste, but it's pretty rare. It's usually only on, like, mythics, which you don't see dropped all that often in the draft, unfortunately. So he brought that back to use the land effect. Oh, rest into your graveyard. Huh. So he's milling himself gradually. Interesting. Dude, 3 arrests? Alright, so I'm probably going to lose this round. That just is what it is. But I'll try to hang in there as long as I can. It would not behoove me to attack right now. I really want to save that effect for tapping down their 4/4. Plus that thing has reach, so it's not like it's getting through anyway. For those who don't know, reach means that the creature can block creatures with flying, as shown on the screen there. Kind of a generic effect that was taken from spider cards some time back. Let's go ahead and tap that down. Sure. The real question at this point is what kind of horrible things are we going to drop? Okay. That's actually pretty helpful for me right now. So we're gonna attack, they're not gonna be able to block it, and we're gonna ninjutsu this guy in. Get that 5 damage in there. Recast my patrol. And now he's really on the fence. He's got to be really careful about attacking. Especially his biggest creature he can't attack with, the Blossom Prancer, because if he does, it leaves him open to my Moth Rider Patrol, which only needs 2 hits to kill him. And that's assuming I don't get any pump effects or anything. What was that? so he killed my flyer. That's a bummer. That flyer was doing a lot of work for me. Okay, well. It's gonna good game, but I was a little too slow there and clicked the wrong place. Oops. Alright. Well, 2 wins, 2 losses. But we're coming up on time here, so go ahead and you know, join me next time to see how this all plays out. Go ahead and open the pack that we earned here. Let's see if we got cool. Alright, I always like legendary cards. That's just the thing that I like to collect. So, deals combat damage to player. I think this is the one that I drafted, actually. So unfortunately it's a repeat, but, you know, hey, maybe I'll get a playset of them and do something with that. Yeah, it doesn't say first on it, so it's definitely the one that I drafted. Okay, well, thank you everybody for joining me, and hope you come back next time. If you enjoyed, please be sure to hit the subscribe button. More than anything else, that will help out my little channel here and give you an opportunity to kind of watch me grow. Thanks. Bye-bye.